Welcome to the presentation of the Green Lab. So what is the Green Lab? It's actually three things. The first one, as probably many of you already know, is a master's course where we have students designing and conducting empirical studies on software products. And here, the peculiarity of this course is that we analyze real software products. So we analyze, for example, Android applications mined from the Google Play Store, or other products that are coming from other partners. The Green Lab is also a physical platform. It is our infrastructure that we use for experimentation on software. And here the experiments can really range from energy efficiency to performance, but also on more, let's say, not physical quantities. Like we do a lot of mining of GitHub repositories, studying, for example, maintainability of software. In the next slides, I will have a couple of words about the platform, so don't ask questions now about it. And the third part is that the Green Lab is a collaboration platform, meaning that we use its infrastructure as for performing experiments involving industrial collaborators. So basically, the idea is that companies come to us with their own problems, what we call technological dilemma. And then we design and conduct experiments trying to clear up their dilemmas. So this is, I try to put in one slide the whole infrastructure, the physical part of the Green Lab. I'm not asking you to look at all its parts, but the idea is that basically it's... I'm hearing some sounds. This is the infrastructure where we have several physical machines. So the gray boxes are all physical machines. And in each of them run a number of virtual machines, depending on what we need to use. Usually we give virtual machines to our students to perform their own experiments or to do their own stuff. What is relevant here is that one of the machines is directly connected to a test farm of mobile devices. We have about 20 that are connected either via USB or Wi-Fi for doing our experiments. And we have these yellow boxes that you see here in the upper part of the figure that are power monitors. So basically, these are hardware devices that are used for measuring the energy consumed by the physical machine as a whole. This is just one slide telling which kind of energy meters we are using. They are called WhatsApp Pro. And basically, the idea is that you connect the system that you want to measure by passing through the power meter and then to the wall outlet. And the power meter measures all the energy consumed by the system under test. And then using a USB connection, we have another machine that collects basically the readings. In terms of mobile devices, we are using an open source platform, which is called STF. I'm not giving a lot of details from here, but the cool thing about this platform is that you can manage really an arbitrary number of mobile devices that are physically connected to a single machine. And then using your web browser, you can check which devices are up. You can directly interact with the devices using just the browser remotely. Actually, this is pretty cool for in this COVID situation. And you can basically execute shell commands directly on the mobile devices. So this gives us complete control on the devices remotely. In the context of the Green Lab, we are developing several open source projects, really started from the ground up here in-house at the VU. One of them is called Android Runner, and that is a platform for orchestrating empirical studies on Android applications. So I'm not going into the details of this, there is just the link. But the interesting part of this is that you can describe your own experiment in a descriptive fashion, and then the platform will take care of orchestrating the whole experiment. So it automatically launches the applications, it connects to power profilers, it collects all the measures, and so on. And this is actually pretty cool in terms of experiments replicability, because I can give you to another research group my configuration of the experiment, and then you can by yourself replicate fully the experiment using a different environment. So this is very nice also from a scientific perspective. Android Runner, we are using it at the VU in our group in several ways. Of course, one is for doing our own experiments, but we also use it as a learning platform where students attending the Green Lab course perform and use their own experiments using Android Runner. So they use it as a black box, basically. Then we have other types of students, mostly working on their own final projects that actually work on Android Runner itself, developing new plugins or improving the backbone of the tool. So we have these two kinds of students working on two separate facets of the tool. And basically this helps in having students talk to each other. You might have one student discovering a bug and another student fixing it. Basically, we have really a community of students really working on it from different perspectives. And this is also nice as a side product that Android Runner remains always up to date. In this slide, I will not go very much into the details. Let me see how much time I have. Yeah, not a lot. But this is one of the experiments that we did together with students of the Green Lab using Android Runner. So here, the interesting thing is that we discovered that in some cases, you could use, as a web developer, tools for measuring performance of Android applications that are very easy to use and for collecting measures as a proxy for energy consumption. And this is very convenient for them because collecting energy measures is actually way more difficult than collecting simple performance measures. Robotics again. So what we are doing since, let's say, the last months is we are transitioning towards applying the same principles towards robotics. So the idea is that now we are performing empirical studies targeting the energy efficiency of robots, mostly robots developed using the ROS open source platform. And here we are actually now developing our own tool for orchestrating experiments, similar to the Android Runner that you saw before, but tailored for robotics. This is, I think, the last slide. It basically tells a little bit how we collaborate also with companies. So here you can see two layers. One is the VU, us, and one is usually a company, but you can also instantiate this to where other research groups of the VU can play the role of a company. So basically it all starts from a technological dilemma that we already mentioned. Then we do brainstorming sessions together for preparing a preliminary experiment design. And then after we refine the initial technological dilemma according to our brainstorming sessions, then we finalize the experiment design. We decide together if we want to do the experiment in-house to the company or on basically in-house in our Green Lab or on premises to the company. And then we execute the experiment together. After this, we usually with companies, we prepare a final report with all the data and with all the details. And this helps them in taking better informed decisions according to the initial research questions. So this is just to give you a little bit an idea about how we collaborate with external parties with respect to our group. And this is the last slide. So the idea is that we have all this infrastructure. We have several mobile devices that we use mostly in September and October for the Green Lab course, which is in period 1. And about June, July, when students are finishing their own final projects. For the rest of the year, we use for some sporadic experiments, but if for some reasons in your research you are using mobile application, you are targeting mobile applications or robots, as we are doing now in the last developments of our infrastructure, then we might think of collaborating together and doing experiments together. So that's all from my side.